surely have picked up 3 question points.
Happy New Year and welcome to Orient Live. It's the first game of 2026 and the O's hopefully will be getting off to a winning start as we face Wimbledon here at the BetRight Stadium. And I'm here in the Orient Live studio with Glenn Wilkie and Andrew Butler. Gents, let's put the last few games behind us. It's a new year, it's a new start.
Certainly is. Big 3 points today, I think we'll come away with. I think it'll be an interesting game. I like the starting 11. I know we'll come on to that. I think it's a good starting 11. Be very interesting, but I fully expect us to come away with a win today.
A few injuries, a few changes. It's been a hectic schedule, and results haven't been good in that festive period. But today would be a start on turning that around.
Yeah, massively so. It's nice to be here on New Year's Day because I usually don't like talking about kind of must-win games in the first half of the season. But I think, to be honest, I think today is one of those games that you put in that bracket of being a must-win game because Wimbledon have been in such a wretched form of late, haven't won in 8 games in the league, and we just need something to kind of kickstart our season really again. We were, I think, fairly poor against Leyton on Monday evening. It hasn't been a great Christmas period for us, losing that game against Peterborough as well. So hopefully with the home crowd behind us, like you say, like kind of a reinvigorated energy around the place, hopefully we'll get the 3 points.
Too early to call it a 6-pointer?
Well, it's just,
Don't go. Do not start it.
It's not a 6 pointer because we're not in we're not in that sort of.
1st of December. Don't call it a 6.
Okay.
I was going to jump in with must-win game, but at one point it's not. Come on.
Our home record.
I would like to win today.
Our home record has been good. We haven't lost here in a long time.
Kiss of death. Come on, Ollie. No, we haven't.
Can't say anything to it.
No, listen, we know how good we are at home. Support behind us. Richie Wellens actually said in his interview, like, the key components of why we are so good at home. He didn't mention the pitch. Mm-hmm. And I thought that's a big factor. Our pitch is superb, one of the best in the league. And I think our players, obviously, in front of our own crowd, full house nearly every week, feel comfortable here. But the pitch is massive because we know we haven't got a second guess of bounce or anything else. When we go start playing away, it's different. But I think with us at home, playing the football we can play and we know we can play, I think we blow teams away and we see it time and time again. The majority of teams come here and sit back and wait for us to break them down because they know how good we are with ball retention and sort of creating opportunities. I think today, possibly it could be that, but Wimbledon will look at our form and think, well, Orient have lost the last 2 games. Actually, we can get after them here. Fully expect them to go long. I fully expect them to fire lots of crosses into the box and ask our defence and goalkeeper questions. It'd be very interesting, but I think we'll have far too much for them.
Well, we are going to take a look at the starting lineup very shortly, but first let's hear the pre-match thoughts from the gaffer. It's Richie Wellens.
Gaffer, first game of 2026 is a London derby at home. It's a good way to start, isn't it?
It's a good game. Obviously, local derby, a full house. I think we've sold out, so brilliant from our supporters again. And hopefully, we can start 2026 off in a good manner. Wimbledon have been a good club to play for us. I remember in League Two, we drawn 4 on the bounce, and then we beat Wimbledon and went on an amazing run again to ultimately win the league. So hopefully, it can be a springboard to what might come.
Away from home, we've been inconsistent, but at home, we've been generally pretty strong. So how nice is it to have a home game to start the new year?
Yeah, and it's hard to put your finger on at times, but results-wise, not been good enough away from home. The performances at times have been good enough to probably merit more points. But I have to say our home form has been really, really good. And if you put a couple of last-minute goals against us to take 2 points off us, we probably could have had 5 or 6 points more at home. So let's try and build on that positivity with our home form. Like I say, the players enjoy playing at home. It's a good atmosphere. The fans are great with us. So hopefully we can continue that.
What's been the secret to the strong home form, do you think?
Yeah, I think you go through seasons where historically our away form's been really, really good. So I think it's really difficult to put your finger on. I do think that our players feel comfortable at home and the atmosphere is really good, and that energy that the supporters give them can strive them on at times. It's difficult to win games away from home anyway. You know, doesn't matter what league you're in. But probably where we're at, our decision making is better at home, where we lack a little bit of decision making away from home, which can cost us and change momentum swings. But yeah, it's difficult to put a definitive finger on it.
Before we get into the team news today, it is of course worth noting that today Tommy Simkin was recalled by his parent club Stoke and he starts for them. So let's touch on that quickly. So Cahill starts before we run through. So exciting start to the... But not exciting.
Well, it's fairly dramatic.
It's a strange start.
It's a fairly dramatic start to the year for sure. I mean, yeah, we were speaking only about an hour and a half ago, thinking about who's going to start today with Simkin or Cahill. I don't think Simkin had his best game against Luton on Monday night, and then all of a sudden the team news comes out. Cahill's in goal. Simkin's nowhere to be seen, and then we look at the Stoke team news, and he's starting in goal for his parent club. So. Yeah, he's been recalled. I believe Stoke have an injury and illness in their squad. So, I believe he was on the motorway just this morning going up. I mean, and now he's starting in a championship fixture. So, I mean, it's a fairly dramatic start to the year for him. But yeah, all the best to him.
Indeed. Right, then let's go through the lineup in full then. And starting in goal for the O's, Killian Cahill returns to the side. Across the back line, Sean Clare is in the right back position with Tom James at left back. Jack Simpson partners the captain, Omar Beckles. Zach Obiero is in the midfield alongside Tyreek Bakinson, meaning Jack Morehouse moves slightly further up the pitch with Theo Archibald on the right, Ollie O'Neill on the left and Dom Ballard leading the attack. On the bench is Noah Phillips, Alfie Lloyds, Dimitri Mitchell, Michael Craig, Josh Koroma, Charlie Wellens and Phil Chinedu. So Dan Happy still out with the knock, it seems, that he picked up on Peterborough. Similar or same back line as the Luton fixture, Glenn. I mean, it's we said it on before the Luton game that it was an experienced defence, and we went on to concede a few goals. But it is an experienced defence still.
It is an experienced defence, and listen, they know how to keep clean sheets. Now, doing it is a different matter. It's all about the whole team, not only the defence, the whole team concentrating. And you go through spells in 90 minutes where you'll block time periods out. You say, right, 15 minutes, let's keep it tight, let's do this. And you game plan and you work it. They need to do that. They need to get back to basics, stop trying to be too eager, trying to win the ball in areas where we don't need to be. Just stand up and be strong and make the opposition play backwards. Just be good defenders, and then once the game opens up a bit, then you can then go and play and do other bits. But I think from a defensive point of view, you go back to basics. Don't let the other team cross the ball. Don't let them have a shot on target, and you don't concede.
And this is the other thing as well about this game. I mean, and the reason why I'm kind of quite anxious about today's game, because we've got such a good opportunity, not just to get the win, but also to keep a clean sheet. Wimbledon have only scored 1 goal in 5 games, and they've been, I mean, they have been in, like I said, very, very poor form. They've drawn 2 of their 5 games 0-0, both at home. And yeah, their only goal in the last 5 was in a 3-1 defeat against Northampton. So I mean, this is such a good opportunity. But you know, you just kind of hope that the squad recognises that this is a great opportunity to keep a clean sheet, but also don't look at this Wimbledon team as being, you know, fairly poor and barren in front of goal and think, oh, this is going to be an easy ride. And I mean, I agree with Glenn. Just do the basics right, and hopefully we'll go some of the way to keeping a clean sheet, and then that will stand us in good step for winning the game.
The problem is, like Andrew said, they've only scored a couple of goals in 5-6 games or whatever it is, right? As a defender, you want to prove, because of how we've conceded goals over the last month, let's say, and concentration levels, etc. The thing is to try and do too much sometimes, and you want to do too much. You get too eager. You want to win a ball where you shouldn't. Like I just said, sometimes it's better just stand up. Be that person in between that player and the goal. Make them play backwards. As soon as you do that, then it's up to the midfield to go and win the ball. And we're very good at pressing teams and nicking the ball. Let's get them playing backwards when they do have the ball. Don't give them the opportunity, or don't be too keen and eager to try and nick the ball. Just stand up, push them back, go and win the ball, go and score loads of goals.
And I mean, we speak about it a lot, but only Plymouth and Doncaster have conceded more goals, and that defence we conceded 3 against Luton. There are games where mainly it's been on the road where you concede a few goals and it looks bad on paper, we need to cut that out.
Yeah, massively so. I mean, I think it's not been helped this season by being slightly more disjointed in terms of team selection and squad selection. I mentioned it on Monday evening about the fact that even our left back position has been Adaramola, Simpson, now TJ. But I mean, for the players, this is the fairly simple equation. Keep a clean sheet today, you play again on Sunday, right? I mean, it's like that's kind of as simple as it gets, and so we should take that on board, and hopefully the defence will obviously be much sterner than they were against Luton. I think we're pretty much second best and second to every single ball on Monday. None of the goals were particularly soft as such. I think the first goal for Luton was a well hit strike. Penalty could have been cut out, certainly, and then the third goal was just slight switching off at the back stick. But today's just such a great opportunity to keep a clean sheet.
It certainly is. We've seen him just there in shot. Zaccabiero, he starts today. He hasn't had many starts, although he's been around for a long time and played minutes. Not many league starts. He's got a good opportunity today, though.
Yeah, he's suffered with the odd injury, and he's when he was getting into form, he has a setback, and then he's out of the team, out of the squad, and then he's fighting his way back in. I like him. I think he's a good player. He needs to, again, another player. When you're coming through, keep it simple, do your job correctly, win the ball, pass it on, get going. And you build your confidence that way. Don't do anything silly. You don't have to do anything. You haven't got to be a world beater to try and prove to the crowd, prove to your teammates. You're in the team for a reason. You're in there ahead of other people, more experienced people. Go and do your job. Just be solid. It's about this team, to get back to winning ways, is about a collective. It's about the team. You've got to be that little piece within that jigsaw who operates correctly. You do that, you will keep your shirt and the team will go on and be successful. When people start being individuals and breaking away and trying to do stuff that they shouldn't be doing, that's when it breaks down and we start getting beat. Let's go back to basics. Let's be a very good, hard team to break down. And our front four are unbelievable, by the way. Got every faith in them. Let's be strong at the back and give the top players at the top end of the pitch the ball and let them go and work their magic.
It's a funny thing with Obiero, because you're right, he has been kind of in and out of the team, in and out of the squad since he's broken through. I mean, when he broke into the squad as a young player, he looked incredible. He looked like a real prospect, and I think he still is that player. The shame for him really is that you play in a position where you actually, like, to do your job well, you don't actually get noticed that much. I think as a central defensive midfielder or a centre midfielder who occasionally might break forward, you kind of the best games you'll have are the ones where you are playing simple and effective football, and you sometimes kind of don't get noticed. I think we've been lucky as a club to have someone like Idris El Mazouni, he's such a good player that you can see how he'll sometimes have spectacular performances because he'll pop up with a goal, but also be the ball winner. And so, but for the large part, being a centre midfielder, you kind of sometimes don't get noticed that much. But I think for Obiero, if you do the simple things right, and if you kind of go about your business quietly but effectively, then it is that sort of thing that keeps you in the team. And yes, you don't have to be the flashiest, you don't have to be the most spectacular in that sort of position. But if you can do an effective job, then you'll kind of carry on being picked by the manager. He's
got two great teachers within the coaching staff, right? Richie Wellens was a centre midfielder. He's got Darren Pratley, who's a centre midfielder, both there, and they will be teaching him and helping him and coaching him and say, you don't need to do that, just do that. Like Andrew says, sometimes you go unnoticed, but the coaching staff and everything else will see that. Sometimes the supporters might not, and you might want to do something a bit flashy or a bit technical. Don't need to do it. So hopefully he's listening to the coaching staff and he will become a top talent.
It's almost like a double-edged sword actually in that respect, because when you have managers and coaching staff who've played actually at the very highest level, Pratley and Wellens as well, you almost you sometimes hear a manager's kind of looking at a player and going like, why can't they just do it like how I play? Yeah. I think maybe David Platt did that when he was a manager. He would get so frustrated with some of his players because he was just like, they just can't.
And Glenn Hoddle was the same.
Yeah, you can't do it, and I can't do it as well as I can do this. So it's a double-edged sword for Obiero perhaps, because you have the best coaches available to you that will make you undeniably into a better player. But at the same time, they probably expect more from you because they've been that type of player themselves.
And players have to be coachable. It's all well and good having the talent and the physique and whatever, but you have to be coachable. You have to take information on, and you have to retain that information if you're going to improve. And that's, I'm not saying Obiero, but that's where I've seen other players, their downfall is because they think they're too good. Information goes in there, goes out there. You need to retain the information if you want to become better and improve.
Well, a big performance from Zach today would be a joy to see. That it also frees up Jack Morehouse a little bit. We've seen him alongside Bakinson, but he's a silky player. Is Morehouse?
Yeah, and when you come from his parent club, you know you're going to get a good player, right? It's so I've said this before. He looks like a very good ball carrier. Looks, technically he's going to be excellent because it's the way that he's been coached. I think he just needs that bit of game time. It looks like he kind of needs that one breakthrough performance. He needs that match-winning goal or the spectacular strike, just to kind of be like, look, this is who I am, and give him a bit of that confidence. Playing in that 10, it was a little bit earlier last season, but Jamie Donnelly, remember, for the first 3-4 months he was here, people weren't particularly having him actually that much, and then he started to have a more breakthrough performances, more accomplished performances in that number 10 role, and then suddenly we're like, okay, this guy.
Sorry, is that the Jamie Donnelly who's just been sent back from Stoke to his parent club, who may be available?
It might be that same Jamie Donnelly. Yeah. We're coming up to the anniversary of his most famous goal as well.
We'll move on. Looking then at the front three, so to speak, you've already highlighted kind of the four you've called it, but Ollie O'Neill, Theo Archibald and Don Ballard on their day will score goals.
No, definitely, and create lots of opportunities. I think, going back to the Morehouse one, I think if he plays in that number 10 position with Ollie O'Neill and Theo playing, they like to cut in. Theo's very good at getting the ball inside very quickly. Once he chops back inside, he'll pass the ball. And I think if Morehouse can pick up them get in them pockets of space, he could be a real handful getting the ball. Talk about Ballard, yes, Tuesday night he's not had the best game. He's probably really frustrated he didn't get on the score sheet, but he's scored a lot of goals this season and he's got talent and his work rate is good. With the two wider players, I think we'll create a lot of chances today, and I think the key is getting an early goal. I say it all the time, get an early goal, settle down a bit. Wimbledon have got to change the way they play and come at us. It'll open it up at the back a bit more, and then with that front four, like you say, we will cause them a lot of problems.
Right, just over 10 minutes to go until kick-off. And of course, don't forget, if you're watching along live on our YouTube stream, then you can follow all of the action here on Orient Live with a match pass for just £10 for international fans. And UK followers, you can listen with an audio pass as well. As I say, kick-off is in just over 10 minutes. Don't hang about. Go over and get yours now. Right, before we take a look at the Wimbledon side, let's hear from a club legend. It's Terry Howard.
Terry, we're here on New Year's Day ahead of the game against AFC Wimbledon. Firstly, I suppose it's a good time to start fresh.
Yeah, I mean, in mind of our recent sort of form, it's been a little bit indifferent. So we're going to the new year and then get it off to a positive start.
Hasn't been the best of away performances recently, but the last time we were here, it was a massive 2-1 win against Bradford City, and I'm sure everyone wants the same here today. It's
going to take, exactly what we've done that day. What impressed me about that performance was the effort we put into it. Hard work. Thought first half against them, we probably weren't at our best, but second half we really got into them, and it's going to take a similar sort of performance today. That level of hard work is going to be needed.
What is important, especially as you're coming towards the end of the festive period, where there are games coming thick and fast? What's important for this game where there could be a squad turnover?
Well, I think with the injuries at the moment, we're a little bit stretched, aren't we? So I think from game minutes, most of the players are getting plenty of game minutes because obviously we've got some important players out injured. So from that aspect, it kind of makes Richie's job a little bit easier because he hasn't got as much to choose from.
And despite the recent defeats, I suppose the one positive this season is that the league is so tight that after a few positive changes or wins, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's the nature of this league. I mean, I've said that I don't think it's the strongest division this year, which kind of works for and against you because if if we're trying to get up the table, I think there's many games you can win. But when you look below you, there's teams picking up points there. It doesn't look like there's going to be too many teams detached this season. You know, at the moment Port Vale are struggling, but away from that, you know, everybody's sort of in touch one way or another. As you say, a couple of good wins, or alternatively a couple of bad defeats, and you're going to go move up quite a lot or go down quite a lot.
We're playing a team today that's probably not in the best of form. I suppose that's a perfect opportunity to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, they started ever so well, Wimbledon, this season, but they're in a poor run of form, you know. So ideal opportunity, as we always say when we do these interviews, is, you know, a good start. They're on a poor run. Let's get their confidence. You know, don't give them any chance to get their confidence up. You know, early goal would really test them.
You have a choice. You can waste 20, maybe 30% of your media budget, spend millions reaching bots, the wrong people, or no one at all. Or just use 0 to 1. It knows who's ready to buy. It's over 85% accurate. Zero wasted spend. The future of marketing isn't guessing. It's knowing.
Is lunch at work awesome? If so, tune out now. If not, keep listening. Picture this: chef-made meals from local restaurants brought right into your workplace. No sad sandwiches, no tired menus. By tapping into the local restaurant scene, Fuda powers workplace dining for companies across the U.S., giving teams flavor, convenience, and authenticity. Half of Glassdoor's best places to work have partnered with Fuda. Is your team ready to upgrade its workplace food scene? Find out how at Fuda.com. That's FOODA.com.
Right then, let's take a look and see how AFC Wimbledon line up for this afternoon's fixture. Here we go. Starting in goal for the Dons is their number one. It's Nathan Bishop. It's a back three for them with Ryan Johnson, Joe Lewis and Isaac Ogundere. At the back, Jake Reeves sits just in front of them and he wears the armband. Callum Maycock and Alistair Smith start in the middle with Miles Hippolyte and Steve Seddon in the wider wing-back positions. Marcus Brown and Omar Bugle are the two up top. And on the bench is Joe McDonnell, Patrick Bauer, Nathan Asimwe, Danilo Orsi Dodomo, Robert Jr. Nkeng, Matthew Stevens and Antoine Hackford. So, what do we make of Wimbledon on the whole, Andrew?
Well, firstly, I must say I'm pleased to see that Matty Stevens is not starting for them. I think he's a very good player. He's got 5 goals in 12 games this season. He's been, he's struggled with injury throughout much of the season, but whenever you see a Wimbledon side without Stevens in it, you kind of think, okay, it makes me feel just a little bit better about it. Having said that, Bugle and Brown up top, it will cause us, perhaps some issues. But we've talked about this earlier about they've had a terrible run of form in front of goal. Only that 1 goal in 5, coming in a loss against Northampton. They're desperate for a win. I mean, they haven't won in 8. Johnny Jackson. I mean, Johnny Jackson and Richie Wellens are kind of similar in terms of how many games they've managed for each club. And we'll see on the screen now that the goals that Wimbledon have conceded, that's an excellent strike. You can't really do much about it. But they kind of just look just a bit soft at the back. And we just have to be able to exploit that today. Hopefully, players like Ollie O'Neill, Theo Archibald, Don Ballard, Jack Morehouse will be licking their lips in terms of seeing what's available to them. With them playing a back 3, you'd like to think that O'Neill and Archibald might just be able to get kind of in between those the right wing back and left wing back and then their centre backs as well. You'll see that a lot of these goals they come from all sorts of areas as well, but it's the second balls that drop into the box that they've been really, really struggling with. I think that's a soft one as well. So they're there to be got at this afternoon.
I would like to see today, if they're playing with a 3 centre halves, obviously their wing backs will come high onto Ollie O'Neill or to Theo Archibald. When we got the ball, I would like to see, like we've done over the previous seasons, one of the centre midfielders running in between the gap between their wing back and their centre half and stretching them and pushing them, and then that allows us to get out of the pitch. I'd be interested to see if that happens today with Morehouse or Obiero. I think that will happen because Richie Wellens does like that tactic against the back 3.
kick-off rapidly approaching. With kind of the recent form in mind, how do you think what do you think's in the players' minds as approaching this one for this must-win one, Glenn?
I think obviously they're aware of what's gone on. They put that to bed. Fresh start, new year, fresh year. Let's go in front of our own supporters. Should be a packed house on a lovely pitch. Let's go get an early goal and let's put these to bed. We could run away with this today if we've got the right mentality. And at the back, we keep it solid. And like we say, we stick to the basics. We can go on and do really, really well today.
And obviously we are we're kind of nearly at the end of that packed fixture schedule. A lot of players out there have played a lot of minutes. You've got to dig deep today. Yeah,
massively so. And this is probably the chance that kind of that last push in the Christmas period. You've got this game and then obviously Stevenage away on Sunday, which is going to be another very, very tough test. This is the one that you think ahead of the season, given the way that Wimbledon got promoted through the playoffs last season from League Two. This is one of those games that before the season even starts, you think this is a game that you really, really want to be getting 3 points from. Not only do we want to be getting 3 points, we want to be entertained, don't we, Glenn?
Always entertained. Although no, saying that, I'll be happy with a scrappy 1-0 win.
1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 off own goal. I'll take an own goal.
Yeah.
I'll take an own goal. Let's just get back to winning ways. Because, like Andrew said, that is a tough game on Sunday away to Stevenage. So going into that with a bit of confidence would be great for us.
It certainly would. Well, the teams are out on the pitch here at the BetRight Stadium, so it's time now to hand over to our match commentary team with Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
Afternoon and Happy New Year. Welcome to Brisbane Road. It's a London derby and it's going to be a fascinating start to 2026, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. London derby, decent crowd, New Year's Day. And both teams, I think fair to say, desperately wanting a win this afternoon. The form has not been too great for the Dons. Well, for the O's, a miserable Christmas so far. But at home, we know the O's are strong.
It is 9 games in the league without a win for Johnny Jackson's side. But whilst Leyton Orient's injury problems